Hey, my name is Chris Hagan and welcome to Loom Theological Booksellers, as far as we know, the world's oldest theological bookstore. You can find us right here on Main Street in historic downtown Stillwater, the birthplace of Minnesota, on the beautiful St. Croix River, one of the first wild and scenic rivers here in America. And for those of you who know French, that would be the River of the Holy Cross. Is it a coincidence that our theological bookstore is on the River of the Holy Cross? Probably not. Now that you've found us, in all seriousness, I need your help to keep us here. The bookstore is old, not as old as some of our books by far, but we do have a history. Back in the 1970s, our founder, Doctor of Theology, and college professor Thomas Loom began rescuing books from dying libraries, monasteries, seminaries. He gathered them from all over North America and England into our first brick-and-mortar location in the old Swedish Covenant Church, also here in Stillwater. From there, year after year, he gave these books new lives by getting them into the hands and then the hearts and minds of the thousands of visitors to his bookstore. They came, and still do, from all over the world. If you wanted hard-to-find theological books, the place to go was, and still is, Loom. Dr. Loom retired in 2008 and sold his bookstore to a couple of his employees. Now, I'm the proprietor of Loom Theological Booksellers, and as I said, I need your help to keep us in this location, to keep our brick and mortar from going only mail order. 6 years ago, I moved the bookstore and my growing family to a local farm to expand the available space to warehouse our collection of books and have room for the new libraries and collections that we would process. We intended to stay there for the long haul, but after 5 years, our landlord and we learned that the farm had a much higher commercial value than what we were paying, and consequently, we couldn't afford the new lease. Suddenly, we had to move. But not just move. We had to find a place to move my family, we had to find a place to move the bookstore, then we had to move my family, then we had to move the bookstore. Now, I have a large family, and the bookstore was immense. We had about 6 months to get all this worked out and accomplished. However, after a troubled pregnancy, my family welcomed our 7th living child right in the middle of all this. My daughter was born months earlier than her due date, after which she spent months in the NICU at the hospital and finally came home to the farm under very difficult conditions. I don't know how my family and the bookstore made it through 2017. But here we are. Thanks be to God and the help of many family members and friends of the bookstore, we opened this bookstore in the new location last fall. My family now lives in a good house in town, and my daughter is a tiny but very healthy 15-month-old. At the new bookstore location, we've gone from welcoming on a good month about 100 visitors to, in this new location, welcoming over 1,000 visitors a month. However, the increased sales have not been enough to overcome the financial aftershocks of getting my family and the bookstore through the storms of 2017. That's why I need your help now. My debt load from the move is now too heavy to pay, and I don't see how we can continue to pay the expenses of an open shop without getting a significant amount of that debt load removed. Our goal with this GoFundMe campaign is to raise enough money to pay down enough debt so that we can continue to have a brick and mortar open shop right here in our home, Stillwater, Minnesota. If you love Loom Theological Booksellers, if you love independent bookstores, if you love a space for strangers to meet and discuss God, the great authors, revolutionary ideas, and step back in time through the experience of our rare book collection, if you love a bookstore that collaborates with local authors and artists to showcase what makes our St. Croix River Valley unique and engaging, then keep our brick and mortar from having to go only mail order. Contribute today, and please tell your friends and family about our campaign. Please pray for the work of Loom Theological Booksellers. I will fight hard to keep this brick and mortar bookstore open here. It is a good fight. It's worth it. We are worth it.